because I can manifest. We're black men, guys. We're the kings of the planet. We can manifest anything, but it's hard to manifest when you're in prison. It's hard to actualize what you can think and conceive in your mind when you're stressed out. When the cops pull behind you, you get like I do. When the cops pull, if the cops are driving anywhere in the United States, anywhere, I get nervous. What's up, fellas? Former NBA player turned college basketball and NBA analyst, but now enjoying life south of the border. And I'm trying to get other black men over 50 to do the same thing. Next chapter forward is your path, black men, for a future that looks way brighter than what you're experiencing now. Check me out, next chapter forward. What's going on, fellas? It's your man, Stephen Barter, coming at you. First live of next chapter forward. Want to do a live because I think this is a way to really get engagement with you guys and to also start to understand you personally. This community, I came up with this idea because for years I've been yearning to see what life is like outside the United States. It's important for me that this community thrives and that if I can help one brother see the light in terms of the U.S. is not the only place for us to live. There are a number of different places around the world, and we have touched every corner of this planet before we were, kidnapped and, stolen from our land. If that's what you believe, other people believe that we were already here. There's a place for us in the world that the U.S. may not be the best place for some of us. Some of us it may be. And if it is for you, then knock yourself out. All the different countries, we've been there. And so for us to limit ourselves to think that the U.S. is the only place, that's not wise to me. Listen, there's two ways that you can join next chapter, well, three actually, next chapter forward. You see the scroll right there. Get your free copy of the top 5 countries where black men are thriving. Go to nextchapterforward.com. There'll be a pop-up window. Put your email and your name in there, and that'll automatically sign you up for the newsletter. You can also join via text. Text me to 312-847-2739, and that will get you into the text group as well. All of these are pointing in the same direction. I just like to give people multiple situations. Some people are more comfortable with text. Some people are more comfortable with email. So the text, 312-847-2739, or you can get your free copy of Top 5 Countries Where Black Men Are Thriving, nextchapterforward.com. All right, black men, it's time, black men. I don't have to tell you what's going on in the U.S. We don't need to we don't need to be ad nauseum about the different situations and the tenor and the environment of what we see back in the States. This live for me is going to be more mental for you guys than anything, because a lot of times I think our mental state, the brainwashing, the different levels of us believing in that bullshit that they told us about different places and ourselves. This session is more about addressing that. And I knew that it was probably going to be a struggle to get anyone in here because I've built up pages and groups before. And when you go live for the first time, really no one's watching. So this is probably going to be on a replay. But black men, it's beyond time. There are options outside the U.S. where you can be a real man, where you're respected, where women respect you, where other men speak to you and look you in the eye, and there's no fear. When I walk around the streets here in Mexico, obviously there are certain areas that are more welcoming to black people than others. But I've been to Cabo San Lucas, I've been to Puerto Vallarta, Merida, Mexico City, Tijuana, Cancun, Playa del Carmen. I've been to 7 different locations around Mexico, and I did not feel unwelcome in any one of those. So I've been in different regions of Mexico, and the thing that you'll notice, if you go to countries where black people really aren't present, I've had people like in Japan, when I first was over in Japan playing professionally, women were grabbing their kids and grabbing their purses when I walk on a train because I'm 6'6", I'm black. And a lot of the Japanese people that I had encountered from 95 on to 2000, there were still a lot of people in Japan that had not seen black people in person. So that fear and that like, because they were believing the nonsense. You don't get that here. And what it tells me is that not only are African Americans here, but Africans have been here. If you listen to Claudia Sheinbaum, the president of Mexico, she said it. Go back and look, research for yourself. She said that Africans were here way before the Spaniards or the Europeans showed up. So there was Africans, there was indigenous Africans, indigenous Indians, indigenous people, and some of those people were Africans. The president of Mexico is on record as saying this. So it's a different feeling when you go to Mexico, when you go to, I've heard Belize, it's very similar. I can't wait to go. Not far from where I am, actually. Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, Venezuela, all these different places have black people there. They've been there, right? So we get treated differently. We get treated with more respect. People look at you. They're not afraid of you. There's something to be said for that. Comedian Deion Cole said it in one of his stand-ups. He said, where are my 50-year-olds in the house? People were like, yeah. He said, you got 20 summers left. What did he mean by that? The average life expectancy for black men in the United States is less than 70 years, guys. 70 years. So if you're bucking the trend and you're beating statistics, you're living to 70. I'm 57. That means if I'm living to 70, I got 13 summers left. I don't know how old you guys are, but think about that for a second. Are you in your 60s? You might have 15 summers left, according to, or 10 summers left, according to statistics. So guys, this is not a game. The lies that we've been told, middle age is not 50. Middle age is mid to late 30s. So if our date is 60, is it 67 or 68? The life expectancy of black men in the United States is 67 or 68. That means when you are 32, 34, you're middle age. So us thinking, oh, you know, we're gonna turn up in our 50s and 60s. Well, you're old now. Comparatively speaking, statistically speaking, you're old. You're not middle aged. You're on the latter side of your life. You've lived far more days than you probably have left. And my question is, do you want to spend them where you are right now? Copy this link, this brianbraun.com/yourlife/weeks. There's a book entitled 4,000 Weeks. 4,000 weeks is roughly 80 years. So this book talks about you got 4,000 weeks. If you live to 80, black men, we are minus 12 of that. But let's just say 80, right? Let's just say our life expectancy is 80 for the sake of this right here, right? Go to this link. You can put your birth date at the top and it will show you how many weeks you've lived and how many weeks you have left. And it's a great visual for you to see that, again, you thinking that you're middle-aged if you're in your 50s and even lower 60s, you might still think, you know, I'm getting up there, but I'm still middle. No, you're not. We're old, guys. We're old. And if you don't start really internalizing that, you're going to sit there and continue to fight in Alcatraz, is my nickname for the United States. Do this exercise, copy and paste this link. When you go to it, there'll be a small section that you can enter your birthday. It's a visual representation of how much life you've lived and how much you have left. And guys, it starts like this, and I'm about like this. Now, some of us will live much longer than 67, 75, 80 even. My parents, My dad will be 86 in October. My mom will be 83 in September. Thank you, Creator. We're blessed that they're extremely healthy and they live a healthy lifestyle. But that's not the case for most black men in the United States. I'm sorry to say, guys. And if you can prove me wrong, please do. I'd love to be proved wrong, but I don't think I am. Okay? I want to ask you, how do you feel right now? Are you worried about anything? Your family, your work, your spouse, money for retirement? What's stressing you out right now? I can honestly say, guys, I had a number in my mind that I wanted to hit before I was going to leave and live out my life somewhere else, because I knew that the United States was not going to get all of my years. I knew that. But things happened that I'll get into in a second that moved my timetable up. And I'm not afraid. I don't have as much as I thought I needed, but I don't care, because I can manifest. We're black men, guys. We're the kings of the planet. We can manifest anything, but it's hard to manifest when you're in prison. It's hard to actualize what you can think and conceive in your mind when you're stressed out. When the cops pull behind you, you get like I do. When the cops pull, if the cops are driving anywhere in the United States, anywhere, I get nervous. You hear a loud sound, you get fidgety. You're worried about your kids going to school because you don't know if somebody is going to bring a gun to school, or you're going to the grocery store, or you're going out to get something to eat, or you're going to a nightclub, or you're going to a bar. I never felt safe. In the last 10 to 15 years, as my consciousness is elevated, and I started to really see things for the way that they are in the United States for black men in particular, it's been very difficult for me to be comfortable in a lot of situations, right? And guys, like what I've been doing for the last 25 years, I've been a college basketball and NBA analyst. And so I traveled to East Lansing, Michigan, Omaha, Nebraska, Iowa City, Iowa, Champaign, Illinois, Bloomington, Indiana. I go to all these places in the Midwest and East Coast, and some a little bit out West, but mostly Midwest and East Coast. And guys, I'm going to tell you something. If you go and travel and look at some of these places, because majority of black people are in urban centers, but if you get outside of those urban centers, you start going to small town America, you're going to see how desperate white people have become. There are certain white people that walk around in these areas that look like they have death in their eyes, because the American dream has failed for them. And now these people are dangerous. These are the people that go and shoot up places. These are the people that feel emboldened because the orange orangutan is in control now. They feel emboldened to check us or step to us any kind of way. And one of the reasons I had to bounce is because I was going to hurt somebody, or I was going to be hurt. I don't want to do that. I want to enjoy the rest of my time. So what's stressing you out? What are you stressed out about? My reason for wanting to relocate is that I've had thousands of microaggressions in my life, as have you. We could sit on a live, and I could add, if I had 10 brothers on here with me, I could ask each one of you to name 10 situations where you felt disrespected, somebody stepped to you the wrong way, you were falsely accused of something that you didn't do. All these things that we have to deal with, right? I got removed off of a plane. I've flown for almost 40 years all over the world, working for I've worked for ESPN, CBS, ABC, NBC, Big Ten Network, Fox Sports. I work with 3 of them currently, but I've worked with all of those in my career. I've flown all over the world. And on January 8th of this year, I was removed off of a plane because of a racist flight attendant. And as we're taxiing out on the runway after a couple of exchanges, where I'm looking at him like, dude, what's going on with, and I said, dude, what's up with you? And I'm tied in, got my seatbelt on. He leans in and says, excuse me, what'd you say? He's spitting on me intentionally while he's talking, because this flight attendant knows that if I put a finger on him, that's a federal felony. But he would never step to me like that in the street because I would mollywop his, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to relive the memory because it's still fresh. And I can't talk about it because I'm getting a 5-figure settlement from a major US airline. So that's acknowledgement that they know that this dude is racist, that I had covered my tracks and that I can afford an attorney to go after them. But why the hell should I have to go? Why do I need to work with an attorney to be a black man going to work? See, the thing is, guys, and you all are probably a lot similar to me, is that my energy irritates racists. You know why? Because my mom and dad used to have us singing at the house, me and my brother and sister, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. I mean, we used to have to say that every morning before we went to school. No lie. No lie. We had to say that every morning before we went to school. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud, and I am. And I carry myself like that, and it irritates racists. They can feel the energy. What's this nigga? Who is this nigga? Why is he walking with his shoulders squared away? My mom had me walk with books on my head because she knew the world that I was stepping into. She knew the world that my brother was stepping into. She dealt with my dad coming home, having to decompress from dealing with stupid ass people. Right? And so this is my upbringing. So I'm a proud black man. I'm not putting my head down. I ain't stepping to the side. I ain't doing none of that shit. I'm not doing it. And so when I had this incident with this airline, this flight attendant, I said to myself, I've got to go. Because the next time something like that happens, I'm effing him up. I'm going to hit him in his windpipe and I might break his neck. But he would never step to me on the street one-on-one like that. And when I knew that I was begging for someone like that to step to me in public, when I'm hoping for that, I knew it was time to go. So we can't live like that, guys. That's no way to live. That's not living. That's surviving. We're in survival mode in the United States, and I'm no longer. I don't want to deal with that, guys. There are thousands of Americans that are leaving the country right now, and a lot of them don't look like us. So the thing is, the country that was built for them, that lied, stealed, murdered, raped, all that to give them the advantage. They're leaving. They're bouncing. They're leaving the American dream. What are we doing? I've got a friend of mine, a neighbor, that was like, man, you're not going to stay and fight? For what? Fight for what? Why do I have to fight? I'm 57 years old. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of trying to appease people and code switch so that, they'll feel more comfortable with me around. We do that unconsciously, fellas. Y'all know that, right? We code switch unconsciously to try to make others feel more comfortable around us. We have to dim our light for them. Screw that. Screw that. There are places in the world, fellas, that you don't have to dim your light, where it can shine as bright as it needs to shine. And the people that will receive you with respect and kindness, as long as you give it back. Fight for what? What am I fighting for? Right? I'm not doing that. Whether you believe it or not, many of us are suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. If you don't know what it is, read it right there. But a lot of us are suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. And if you put that in perspective, it's kind of sad. We're the best fathers. We're the most gracious people. We're the most intelligent, the largest export in the United States, which is Black culture, our culture, food, music, dance, art, swag, our inventions. Imhotep being the father of medicine, but you never hear it. Civilization started in Greece. Bullshit. They stole everything they had from the Africans. We used to rule Europe for 800 years, fellas, right? But we somehow, well, not somehow, it's been a diabolical scheme to put us in the position that we are. And the fact that we can still smile, we can still raise our children, be loving towards our spouses, sing, be happy in the midst of this heavy burden that's been on us all of our lives. Fellas, I'm 57. I've dealt with 5 decades, a half a century of this stuff. Okay? So, look, if you feel like everything's good, hey, by all means, man, live your life. I'm just saying, for those that have felt like me, that have felt like, man, I'm suffocating in this place. If I have to stay here if I have to stay here any longer and I get confronted again, I'm hurting somebody. And I'm not that type of person. I've never been in jail. I've never been arrested. I don't walk around doing that. But I was consciously hoping that one of these racist punks would step to me in the wrong way so that I could take out my 57 years plus the 400 years of our people out on this person. I was really hoping for that. And that was a signal that I need to bounce, because that's not going to do anybody any good. All right, which countries are you guys interested in? Here's my list: Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica, Colombia, and Ghana right now. But I'm interested in Kenya, Dominican Republic, Thailand, and South Africa. Now, I mentioned Dominican Republic to a friend of mine, and she was like, "Oh, Stephen, you're not gonna go out like that, are you?" I said, "What are you talking about?" "Oh, you know what the Dominican Republic is known for?" I said, "Yeah, it's known for $1 equaling 56 of their dollars. That's what it's known for me. What other people are going down there for, that's their business." And my friend thought that the DR is the only place in the global South that allows prostitution to that level. Almost all the countries do. DR just gets a bad rep for it. But the Dominican Republic, there are several. I know of 6 off the top of my head that I watch on YouTube. I know a brother personally that's in our group that lives in the Dominican Republic. He's got a Dominican wife and a daughter. He's been there for like 10, 11 years. So don't let the narratives, the lies that have been told, see for yourself. Go to YouTube, type in the country that you want, type in black people in, boom, black people in Belize, black people in Portugal, wherever you want, right? Now, for me, I have zero interest in being in anything that's European dominated. I'm not leaving the U.S. to go to another place where I got to deal with that same bullshit. I'm not doing that. So I have no interest in Portugal. Even though I heard it's a wonderful country, there are a lot of black retirees there that are doing quite well. God bless you. You won't see me there. I played in Spain. I played in Italy. I played in France. I've been to Germany. I've been all over Europe. And so it's cool. It's no doubt it's cool. But I'm not spending any more of my dollars or my time to go to European places, because I just left a European place. I'm trying to get away from that. So what countries are you guys interested in? I'm curious, because I'm right now reaching out to YouTubers like Sunshine Shoulders in Philippines. A member of our group that's the Next Chapter Forward, Clay Dade, is a DMV native, Washington, D.C. native. He's been down in the Dominican Republic. We're going to interview him. Going to interview a lot of guys, hopefully from Panama, Colombia, all the countries I mentioned. I'm going to hopefully get some people that I can interview so that you can get a sense of how successful these people have been. You can look at their facial expressions. You can look at how they're talking, what their daily lives look like, what the cost of living looks like. Why did they make the decision to leave the United States? Why did they make the decision to stay in this particular country? We're going to go over all that so that you all can feel well informed and you can make the move that you want to make. Appreciate you guys listening in. I don't want to make this too long. Once again, get your free copy of Top 5 Countries Where Black Men Are Thriving. Go to nextchapterforward.com, put your name and email information in, and you will get that free report. It's a good one, too. Also, and you can do both. If you want to join the text group, text me 312-847-2739. And I will not spam you. I don't do that. But we'll have fun in these groups. Obviously, you guys are part of Next Chapter Forward Facebook group, the private group, and we're going to extend on this community. But I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. You guys see that I'm very active in the group. So if you have any questions or concerns or posts, I'd love to see what you have to say. All right. Thank you. I love you, brothers. This is a passion play for me. This is wonderful. I'm enjoying this. And I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you personally so that I can help you on your journey to live your best life. All right. Where's your next chapter forward going to be? Until next time, love y'all.